If there are any among this people who should ever apostatize, prepare your backs for a good whipping.
Some permanent commandments have taken considerable time to be generally observed. For example, President Lorenzo Snow's famous sermon on the law of tithing emphasized a commandment given earlier, but not yet generally observed by church members.
Marsh, not being satisfied, took an appeal to the first presidency of the church. And Joseph and his counselors had to sit upon the case, and they approved the decision of the High Council. This little affair, Brother Smith continues, kicked up a considerable breeze. And Thomas B. Marsh then declared that he would sustain the character of his wife even if he had to go to hell for it. The then president of the 12 apostles, the man who should have been the first to do justice and cause reparation to be made for wrong committed by any member of his family, took that position.
He then appealed to the first presidency of the church. Joseph Smith and his counselors considered the case and upheld the decision of the High Council. Elder Thomas B. Marsh, who sided with his wife through all of this.
We do not say that all of the saints will be spared and saved from the coming day of desolation, from the atomic holocausts that surely shall be.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, I am stuck this morning as to what to title this video. I can't put all the titles. YouTube only allows 100 spaces, and then they cut you off. And so, one title is Unaffordable Kingdom of Zion, hashtag tithing first. Another one is The National Divorce Has Begun. Another one is AI Denialism is the latest excuse for Mormons to dismiss the words of the living prophets of Jesus at conference. I got a comment reply. Another would be something like AI Jesus. Another is the consequences of spiritual witness feelings or illiteracy. And looks like finally the final one. Christianity caused the Dark Ages. Mormons caused the second coming of the Dark Ages. So we'll start off with the dream I had this morning. At least the end of the dream I had this morning. Already did the journal vlog for the other parts of my dream. Almost had it. It was a nightmare, dear God. Even though I was married, which is I can't say the word. But at the end of the dream, I posted a YouTube video as normal. And immediately after I posted it, I began seeing the tallies for the views just rack up views fast, instantly. In over 1,000, over 100,000, over 1 million, over 100 million views. Because YouTube finally treated my channel equally and people wanted to watch my video. They think I'm new or something. And so, yeah, I knew that YouTube had made a huge error on their part and were unable to fix it before getting 100 million views. But then I saw on my management page another video posting that I did not do. It's not a title I did. And yet, it had 10 instant views, 10 instant thumbs up. Oh, hell no. This is not my video. Get this abomination off my screen. This ain't true. 100 million, sure, could be true if YouTube botched the job. But 10 views, 10 thumbs up? No. 10 thumbs down? Yeah, okay. And so what had happened is that YouTube, without my permission, without notifying me first, made an AI video for me. to try to help boost my channel performance. Get the hell off my screen. No. No, 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 no. Oh, dear God. So, Mormons believe the Book of Mormon is literal history. I'll try to bite my tongue and tell you you're illiterate. Because you're not understanding what Joseph Smith meant by prophecy and revelation of the learning of the Jews. But, for the sake of argument, let's assume the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is correct, and that their zombie apocalypse brainwashing of you is true. So, 600 years from the time Lehi left Jerusalem is when Jesus is born. And all Mormons believe that it's the 6th of April, 1 CE. Talmud is wrong, 1 CE. Okay? Because you've illiterately understood the Doctrine and Covenants passage of when the church was organized, that was the manner of speech. Because of Christians and the Pope creating the calendar that we now use. Therefore, 1 CE is the starting of the Common Era. Anno Domini, something like that. No, or after death, which, wait a minute, can't be after death, it's supposed to be after birth. Anyway, despite the Christian confusion leading us into the Dark Ages, the Mormon Church is leading the way to send us back into the Dark Ages with AI Jesus. Anyway, they first came and destroyed the Jews. And so now Jesus' second coming is to destroy all Christianity. So 1 CE, 6th of April. So, according to 3 Nephi chapter 7, Bruce R. McConkie puts in the chapter headings the dates AD 30 to 33. Okay? And so, 3 Nephi chapter 11 is AD 34. Jesus is now 33 years of age. Okay? We'll ignore the Scottish rites with the 33 degrees, the 33 being the honorary. This is all literal history true. There's a problem, which Mormons ignore. It's a huge elephant in the room that Mormons ignore and deny is real. Despite the metaphorical dream and symbol elephant that was in my room this morning in a dream. Oh my hell. Grandma, what the hell are you doing? She's dead. But she made an appearance in my dream this morning. Oh my God. But at least I was married, which was part of the I can't say the word. On the one hand, I was married. On the one hand, Grandma! On the one hand, 100 million views. On the other, what the hell is this video? And I've had a Mormon who did that to me. Created a fake channel representing me and doing faith-promoting videos of clips of the living prophets of Jesus. Bastard. Do your own channel. Mormons will love you for it. You don't have to take me down with you. What an ass. Anyway, that was a long time ago. I don't know if he's still doing that channel, because YouTube wouldn't take it down. They'll take down little girls trying to do YouTube videos because they're little girls and therefore they're porn. And then have them commit suicide because they don't understand why their video was taken down. Their whole lives are ruined now that they can't be influencers. God, just so much hate in this world. All because of Christianity and the darkness of mankind. So 600 years from the time Lehi left Jerusalem. What year was that first year of the reign of King Zedekiah at the beginning of the Book of Mormon? Well, if it's literal history, it was 597 BCE. Oops. Now you see why Bruce R. McConkie is messing with you concerning dates, specifically year corruptions. Right, Bruce R. McConkie, for section 10 of the Doctrine and Covenants? Bruce R. McConkie knows that as 1829, it doesn't make sense. And so he maliciously altered it in his chapter heading for us as 1828. So that it was just a couple of months that Joseph Smith was on timeout. And then we are therefore led to believe that Joseph Smith hooked up with Oliver Cowdery and resumed translation. So we had plenty of months to get it finished. But the church comes out and says, no, it was miraculously done within a couple of months. Few months, I guess. It was actually less than that. But then there's the problem of section 4. While Joseph Smith is on timeout, then Joseph is told, a marvelous work and a wonder is about to come forth among the children of men. Really? I've been on timeout. What do you mean the book is almost finished? Exactly. Because you don't understand prophecy and revelation. And so if you're going to take it literal history, you have to correct Bruce R. McConkie. You have to put 597 at the beginning of the Book of Mormon. You have to put 33 to 36 here in chapter 7. And so that it's 37 for chapter 11. The church won't do that. the church is purposely leaving the problem in. They won't make the correction. They won't make the change. Because of the illiteracy of Section 20 of the organization of the church in the year of our Lord, because that's what the Pope designated the calendars for. Just unbelievable, the stupidity of mankind. To revise history and to now use AI to have everybody be dumb as AI revises history. Alternative facts. And that's what MAGA was complaining about the deep state Dems. They're alternatives to reality. They're alternatives to science. Oh, God. And here they are doing it themselves. Both of you, stop it. So, you don't care what the truth is, right? You don't care that this is actually happening right now, because 2020 and 2021 was not the real event, because Oaks decided to change it and run it as a test run that year. Oh my God. And so now they have Trump doing this for this year instead. And so instead of 2020 and 21 as was supposed to be, because 2020 being AD 30, 3rd Nephi 11, the sign of the death, which was 8 April 2024, 4 years later, ta-da, 34. And yet, Oaks said, we're running a test instead. And so now you have to move everything up 4 years. So that 30 is now 24. And 33, oh my hell. No! 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 Oh, dear God. We're never going to Zion. Never. Never. Hopefully this is a crash course. That they're just going to rush things this year. Right? Oh my God. But we'll see. It means Zion is this year. As it's 31. So we'll see. Not happy about it. So what's supposed to happen right now is exactly what is happening right now. Except for the murder of the chief judge. Instead of that being first, they're moving it to last. Because in 2021, yeah, that was supposed to be first, if not 2020. With the death of Trump, MAGA Nation was supposed to be outraged and cause a national divorce. Marjorie Taylor Greene was screaming national divorce. She wants a national divorce. And thus, the people were divided one against another, And they did separate one from another into tribes. That's what the deep state Dems and MAGA are. They're tribal groups. They have tribal think. They're not thinking independently and using logical Socratic methodology for the development of scientific research testing, running the tests for confirmation for truth. Nope. Both sides instead have their own versions of revisionist history and anti-science. Lies. And they're arguing with each other, accusing the other of the other's anti-science. And yet, under Biden, we lost all our rights, and under Trump, we're losing all our rights. Yay, we're all going to die. And so thus the federal government of the land is destroyed. The regulations of the federal government were destroyed because of the secret combination. Practicing priestcraft and enforcing it with murder. The order of Nehors. Of the Friends, the Confederates, because after 9/11, 1826, the Confederates of the Scottish Rites Illuminati, the 33 degrees, went to the south to become the Confederates, with the inverted pentagram on their flag. Yeah, level it out so that it's on the horizon. Oh, there they are. And whoop, there they are. The inverted pentagram of the Illuminati, which then became the Scottish Rites, which then became the Danites for Brigham Young. Oh, there's the inverted pentagram. That's how you identify them. Duh, it's in the Book of Mormon even. And the kindreds, Confederates, Danites, of those who murdered Joseph Smith and Hiram, the prophets. Wait, this was written before Joseph was murdered. Remember, it's written in the spirit of prophecy. And even revelation for this. Because the murder of Joseph Smith, using the Jewish Kabbalah tree of life, 180 years later, hey, 2024, when we were supposed to go to Zion. A test run! Oh my God! So yeah, Oaks screwed up the order. Now it could be my fault. Because Oaks wasn't supposed to get leaked. Mormons aren't supposed to know about this anyway. But they weren't counting on the Jews being true. They weren't counting on the Book of Mormon being true as prophecy, with dates. They only knew that they just needed to cover it up from Mormons. And Christians likewise had it covered up from them. And so when I came out to them in 2017 with my letter to the 70 presidency, I notified them of the signs in the heavens. They're coming. And then Watson dies. I warned you. You did nothing. we go. And so, my suing them in 2020, again, I brought it up in my lawsuits, along with warning them of this, and the judges protected the church and denied me my First Amendment rights, despite having a receipt. Nonetheless, blame the church. Blame the church. So, dumbass comments from yesterday. Mormons all lie, claiming the Book of Mormon is true, yet are kicked out of Zion for their poverty. Hashtag tithing first. All he had to do was listen to my video. As a Mormon, you should know and understand that there's a Book of Mormon story about the Zoramites, which was referred to in that video. The Zoramites were kicked out because of their poverty. Mormons are supposed to know that by the title. Mormons are supposed to know and understand that the Zoramites built a synagogue. Not a synagogue is Jewish, not Christian. And yet, despite Jewish of the building for which after it was built, the people were now unemployed, and thus were now poor, and thus were kicked out for building the Jewish synagogue of the Zoramites. They were worshiping the Great Spirit. That is not Jewish. That's Christian with Jesus, the Great Spirit. Do I need to have a Christian explain to you the passage, God is Spirit? Mormons don't get it. Joseph Smith, Jewish. And with the Jewish religion, Brigham Young turned it Christian. Just like the Zoramites. And so section 119, blatant violation of all other scriptures, not just the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith. It is a forged document of Brigham Young. And notice the date of when it was given. That's your big tip-off. It's a forged document. Because Joseph wasn't able to publish anything in 1838. And yet Joseph Smith has a whole bunch of publications in 1838. All except for section 132. Which I am surprised they could have done it in 1838 also, but instead they wanted to further abuse Sidney Rigdon's daughter for that one. And yet, Brigham Young also confessed in 1874, said Joseph Smith was too stupid to come up with this, that it was all Brigham's idea while he was in his mission fleeing the country in England. And Expo Nevermos, who claim they know the truth, no jack diddly. I think he moved to so anyway, Mormons are unable to counter-argue me. They can't do it. They can't have intelligence of the scriptures, of church history, to put me in my place. Mormons are incapable of doing it. So what do Mormons do to prove the church is true? They lie and deny, name call, bully, threaten, abuse, murder, commit crimes, etc., etc., etc. So, Jellyfisher, I'm sure that's a real name. Wouldn't be a mockery whatsoever. With the beach scene, I'm guessing. Nonetheless, are you in federal prison? Just asking. Oh, God. Bye-bye. If you didn't want Zion, just say so. You're not forced to come. If you don't believe, just leave. I can leave the church, but Mormons won't leave me alone. I am talking about the Jewish Book of Mormon and the Jewish Joseph Smith. And Mormons won't leave me alone. So, another dumbass on my LDS Church gives Mormons personality test to remove apostates. Again, warning you of the dangers of your brainwashing by the church using psychological manipulation of psychologists, which is the highest per capita in the world right here in the state of Utah. Because the church embraces it. The church embraced Hitler, Moroni, and the swastika. And so, after World War II, the CIA secretly gave asylum before the official Operation Paperclip allowed for this, to bring the medical doctors to turn them into psychologists, to conduct and continue the conducting of their psychological, medical abuse, torture of American citizens now. And so, yes, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints took in many here in Utah. Stanley Smith Stevens was a born and raised Mormon to be a part of this. Did his work in Colorado. He's the one responsible for that very quiz. Called the non-dichotomous and the dichotomous categorization of human behavior. A fallacy, falsehood. You can't do that with human behavior. There are too many behavioral responses that are similar for a completely different causation. But psychology says no. Your outward manifestation of behavior is going to be considered a mental illness, a brain mental retardation, rather than looking for a causation of it, which is always external. Even if that external is taken internal, like alcohol and drugs. Or the teachings of the living prophets of Jesus to cause Brian David Mitchell, Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, John D. Lee, etc., etc., etc. Even the psychologists who get educated at BYU to become PhDs. And then are now in prison. Treatment centers shut down as the church then builds 5 more to replace them and hires 50 more to replace those that go to jail. How dare you! We put them in place for a reason. Family services. Jesus was offended with LDS. And so you should have known from the thumbnail picture that I did a modification of the actual church news article. And if you listen to the video all the way through the 43 minutes, you would have heard me of when I got inspired for that thumbnail picture. Because of what was done with it for the 2016 presidential election. And so you get a dumbass Mormon who's illiterate because he uses spiritual witness feelings. He's looking for faith promotion. Now see how illiteracy, the consequences of spiritual witness feelings are illiteracy. As the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is trying to cause the second coming of the Dark Ages for mankind. So the first one he did, he had to edit. And this is an alternative of Desnat, apparently. Apparently, after Desnat got scolded, and he cried, I just want people to be forced to obey the living prophets of Jesus with the javelin. Now we have Guardian Z for Zion. And he's got his thumbnail picture, which looks like it's a heart ripped out of somebody's body with a crown on top of it. Oh my God. You're far from pure of heart, dumbass. And so he says, edited, I'm not sure how you get trying to remove apostates from that quiz. Did you listen to the video? I explain it. I tell you that even though they're using it to not give options for apostates, that they're only trying to do faith promoters, to try to encourage faith promoters to find out their ways to preach the gospel. You know, to encourage Mormons to do it. And so yes, he did not look at the thumbnail picture because he says, I did it myself. He went to the church news. He fact-checked me. Good for you. But you didn't listen. And sure enough, he confirms I was right. The quiz was actually designed to understand how the members share their faith and what they struggle with. I told you it was. They're not going to have, it didn't really give a judgment or call to action to leave. Yes, it does. By ignoring that part, it's telling you you have to conform and comply to these ways to share the gospel. So that if you're not sharing the gospel, you're going, oh crap, I'm not sharing the gospel. I'm a loser. I'm scum. I better leave. Even though they want you to conform and comply and stick to one of the four that they suggest. What the bleep are you talking about? The second frame is not even M. Russell Ballard. We will seek you. We will find you. Yes it is. From his conference talk. I should have looked for that date too, because he refers to Gordon B. Hinckley and calls him M. Russell Ballard also in his second comment. M. Russell Ballard, we will seek you. We will find you. What matters most is what lasts longest. To whom shall we go? I think that's the actual one. So October 2016, to whom shall we go? I believe this is it. I'm not frozen, am I? Wandering from the path that leads to the tree of life. Yeah, you need to go to the great and abominable spacious building. Stay on the gospel path. Old ship Zion. I've used this before with the old ship Zion. It was years ago. I did not see it with a brush over. This is taking way too much time. But all of these come from the actual words of the living prophets. If you've been following me all this time and you've been fact-checking me with my conference videos, with the church news videos, and they come out with an extra special video for you, you know I'm quoting from that video clip. It's directly from that. And so I'm not finding it in this talk. But it is from one of his talks. You can see the conference center in the background. You do know the conference center, right? But it is M. Russell Ballard. Even though he's dead, it was when he was alive. So, second comment. By the way, love the edit at the start. Prepare your backs for a good whipping. Okay, thank you. So obviously fake. Get the hell off my channel. That was Gordon B. Hinckley, October 1984. I checked that one. There is no record or widely known quote by LDS Apostle M. Russell Ballard containing the phrase, "Prepare your backs for a good whipping." You do know that was Gordon B. Hinckley, right? Oh my God. The consequences of spiritual witness feelings are illiteracy. I should take that clip, turn it into an audio, and then put Ballard's picture. Play it. The context for that gem, that great classics and LDS Church conference, which again, I was getting lots of views for those videos in that playlist. You have a playlist? How long have you been on YouTube? They weren't carrying over to have people watch my other videos. It was only because they were being recommended to people and they clicked on it like zombies. And then they found out, oh, it's not faith promoting. Thumbs down! Travis, this is not by LDS Apostle M. Russell Ballard. Defending the church with stupidity. Another title that I should have had. I thought I had it somewhere on here. Yeah, illiteracy to defend the church. Another title. We are all enlisted as complete ignoramuses. Happy are we, happy are we. He's talking about Thomas B. Marsh. Lying from the lies of George Albert Smith about his affidavit, which was why he left. He wasn't excommunicated. Definitely not legitimately. He left. He said, what you guys did in Clayton, I'm out. And as he was tending to the sick Orson Hyde, got him to likewise sign it. But Orson Hyde got better. And then came back to Brigham Young, because he didn't see any of it. He didn't know Brigham Young was in charge of it. Neither did Thomas B. Marsh. Thomas B. Marsh was told by the Danites in that affidavit that Joseph Smith was in charge. No. Nonetheless, it's obvious, so obviously fake. But Mormons are stupid. Have been since the beginning. Nonetheless, nor are there any other prominent LDS leaders quoting as saying this phrase. Gordon B. Hinckley, October 1984, referring to Thomas B. Marsh. You dumbass. This phrasing appears to be inaccurate or a misattribution. Nope. October 1984, Gordon B. Hinckley. probably AI generated. And thus the other titles. And I warned you in advance, years ago, warned you that this was coming with AI. That Mormons would use AI as an excuse to not believe the living prophets of Jesus. Because you don't go to conference, you don't listen. Like you don't listen to my videos. And that Mormons are now going to use AI as an excuse for their spiritual witness feelings. If it's not faith promoting, then it's not true. It's AI. And if it is AI and it's faith promoting, you don't care. And Oaks will turn it into scripture. For October 2025 General Conference, Oaks Gets Up, there has been a very popular social media video clip by the living prophet of Jesus, Wilford Woodruff, in which he says that all Mormons who do not pay their tithing need to prepare their backs for a good whipping. I am here to endorse this again today as scripture. We are doing that. We are doing that. Doing that. Bleep you. Of course, those who've been following, and even if you're not, you know about Oaks and the scandal of Lorenzo Snow. Which was made scripture. The Lorenzo Snow teachings. It was the BYU movie production. They made it up. The church approved the video. And now, when they did the teacher's manual, they just assumed that that was the actual words of Lorenzo Snow and put it in. And so Oaks gets up at conference and quotes from it as scripture. Hilarious. The con of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, sending Mormons back to the Dark Ages. Good times. You are not a good faith actor, man. He's now projecting with his false accusation. He's not acting in good faith. He didn't study. He doesn't understand. He's not listening, and he oopsied the beam in the moat. He got exposed by being a dumbass. Good luck, and I hope you find peace and can let the anger go. Projecting. He is unable to find peace and let his anger go towards me. And thus he made his comment. Not pure of heart, as he claims he is. Why, Mormons? Why? All right, let's get these papers out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. So yes, we'll need to, let's bring that, well, I've got it, so I don't need to be under Hinckley, right? Yep, apostates to be whipped. We'll turn it into an audio, put Oakes's picture. Actually, it'd have to be Wilford Woodruff's one night. I don't think I have Wilford Woodruff's picture here. I'm going to have to get him or transfer him. Which do we do? Because we're not being cyber attacked this morning, so that's a good news thing. Oops, I can't. So interestingly, Microsoft, what the hell is this? What are you giving me the black screen of death for? Oh, God. Already uses AI, but in the news the other day, they were claiming that they're doing an AI to compete with Google search. You already have it. I don't understand what's going on, guys. You're just trying to add to your monopoly, Microsoft. You're not fooling me. All right. Grumpy old Wilford Woodruff. Always good for a laugh. So we can use the actual photo, or we can use the painting. Nobody would know the photo. Who's that guy? That's AI. Oh my God. Such a nightmare this church is. Why? I don't. Why? It's stupid. Why? Alright. So we're getting it all set up for you. So let's just go down. See, this is a personal thing I probably should have done with my journal log last night. But it's the problems with YouTube. They've readjusted the algorithms yet again yesterday. And so, yeah, I saw the consequences of 1 view per hour from this. But they use a lot of different tactics that they've repeated over and over again over the years, with some new ones every now and then that they then keep repeating. So I'm well aware of what they're up to. So yeah, it was kind of interesting, my dream this morning. All right. So. Okay. that aside. So now we're down to the final two for the Trump Ice 2025, Armageddon 2, Civil War 2 against Mormons. At 1 hour, exactly. Delta had plane problems, but don't be concerned, the faith-promoting part of it is that they now have more stops at the International Airport of Salt Lake City. Just understand, Mormon mothers, that when you send your kid out on a mission using Delta to get to Peru or wherever else Delta will take you, they'll likely die in a plane crash. So, hey, they'll go straight to the celestial kingdom, though. I want to go on a mission to die so I can go straight to the celestial kingdom. Similar to Islam. Mormons are Islam. We're the same. Church did a pamphlet. They get 72 child bride virgins. I only get 10. And we only go down to 11 years old. Muhammad went down to 8. Church is so true. Why are people so dumb and then demand that other people expect their dumbness, accept their dumbness? So again, this also is very interesting because of Joseph Smith, that prophet who we've turned literal history to cover it up and hide it. So this isn't a prophecy. Nope. It's Jesus's time. I do need to do a 9th Ave video for you, as tomorrow I should probably start the countdown. Yet again. Because in 2023, even in 2024, when I was doing the countdowns, I didn't know that 2020 and 2021 were a test run. I didn't find out until November last year. A test run? So, this is the destruction of Salt Lake City that John Taylor talked about. Oh, you didn't watch that video? You ran and hid. No, church is true! And the enemy came by night, broke down the hedge, and the prophets of the nobleman, Jesus, arose, were sensitive snowflakes scared, and fled. I'm leaving on a Delta plane, don't know if I'll be back again. Done those videos many a times. Prophets flee. They're leaving on a jet plane. And he died in a crash. Very sad. And was used in Final Destination. Horror suspense. She just thought he was the enemy. He was just trying to save her life. And in so fearing him, she killed herself. I can't stand gore. You know, I was told as a teenage boy that the more you watch R-rated movies, the more you become desensitized to violence, sex, crime, rebellious behavior. Nope, only rebellious behavior. I still cringe, and I can't look at the screen when violence occurs, when serious violence of a crime is committed against another person, I can't watch it. I break down and cry. So no, I have not been desensitized despite the immersion in R-rated movies as part of my rebellion. So they lied to you. Oh, psychologists lied? Oh, they were telling you how to behave so that you would then behave that way and thus fulfill their self-fulfilling prophecy for you. And you fell for it, did you? Or you became a weapon for them to accuse others of being desensitized when they are desensitized in the desensitizing accusations of others. Right? Heart of heart. God. And the enemy destroyed all the temples and churches and genealogy centers and Temple Square and deported all the Mormons to Sudan, Venezuela. Guatemala, Panama, 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 Panama. Yeah, and then 19 July 1840 from the Joseph Smith Papers, not AI. Joseph Smith gives a sermon referring to this one verse. And all Mormons get it wrong because Brigham Young misquoted it. He refused to publish it as a section for us because Joseph Smith called him out as the enemy that would do this. But then misquotes it. So you only know it as the Constitution will hang by a thread. No, brink of ruin. Oops. So yes, Delta. Paving the way for the prophets to flee. So it looks like if I'm going to use that, we'll probably use AI for the title. That may win out. We'll see. So this is very fascinating that I can turn into a fake news story for comedic enhancement. So the true part of the story is a woman got lost in the utility tunnels in Salt Lake City. Which is comedy in and of itself. Hello, 911? I work for the utility company and I got lost in the utility tunnels. Help! Which, it's interesting that it's a maze down there. And so, the fake part, which I've ruined the joke now, thanks a lot, guys, is that those were built by Brigham Young to flee from the feds and ICE who were trying to deport Brigham Young. I explain it, it's not comic. Comedic. Need a new one. I need to take a station identification break. God, I do. Hold on. Anybody remember when I used to be cyber terrorized with the freezing of the cameras? And so I began putting in the insert of the cameraman all tangled up with, I replaced it with Mountain Dew can instead of the beer bottle that he had. Don't make me transfer it. So, Brigham Young fled from the federal government's ice raids by building the utility tunnels in Salt Lake City. Hilarious. Okay, that was the comment reply video. Illiteracy to defend the church. Blame AI to defend the church. Okay, good. We're done with that one. All right. So, FEMA and NOAA. Remember, Trump fired people. And the deep state Dems were panicked. Oh no! We won't have anybody when a natural disaster occurs. And then natural disasters occurred. And sure enough, FEMA and NOAA both failed. And this was originally going to be the theme of this video, is that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who claim they're prophets, seers, revelators, failed to warn Mormons. Because it's not about being in government office for FEMA or NOAA and saying, you know, the American people should always be prepared for whenever something should happen. Those in Texas or New Mexico, they should have been prepared in advance. It's them who are to blame. No! We have these government agencies in the federal government, which Trump is destroying in accordance with 3 Nephi chapter 7, but is bumped to now because Oak said 2020 is a test run. To destroy the federal government. Each state is required to have their own FEMA, their own NOAA. Nobody is getting this. And so Trump purposely is causing the problem, causing the deaths, until the states realize they can't trust the federal government. If they're going to do anything, they need to do it themselves and cause a national divorce. I don't know how many times I've told you this. And so likewise, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is putting Mormons to the test by failing. To see how many stupid people stay Mormon. I have done these videos all these years since I knew we were in the latter days. Pulling out the clips from conference, pulling out their extra video clips to show you they are serious about this. That you aren't catching it. I'm just horrified. The church is the cause of the separation of the wheat from the tares, the sheep from the goats. but the tares and the goats stay Mormon. Those who leave are the sheep and the wheat. Because they're preparing to bundle the tares to be burned. They that come, the enemy, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, shall burn you. And you don't believe Joseph Smith, you don't believe the Book of Mormon. Because I said it. Dear God. And so I told you I'm going to be pissed if you die. Because I warned you in advance. The prophets didn't. Just as FEMA and NOAA were in place to warn in advance. Here I am, warning you in advance. And we've got 109 death temperatures coming for Arizona and Texas. Yes, people can survive at 109 degrees, but normally, for the normal human being, that's when you die. Or at least your brain is destroyed, becomes soup. As tragic as comedy is. So yes, I was intending on putting Mars Attacks clip in here. Stop! Don't run! We're your friends! Zap! And then, is it Dwight Yoakam or some old country singer that's used to blow up their brains to save America and the world from Grandma's records? Grandma! Holy crap, is that why Grandma was in my dream this morning? Because I was thinking about that last night. What the hell? Grandma! Which Mars Attacks? Oh my God! The connections. If you've not been following me, you don't know those connections. Aliens, deport aliens, invasion of aliens, Mars, Nelson. Nobody gets it. So, yeah, the separation, the national divorce is already happening. Trump is causing it. If Trump were somehow to lose the AI 2024 election, he had already had it prepared for war. He had warned us in advance. There will be bloodshed. It will be a bloodbath if I lose. And yeah, it'll be a bloodbath if he wins. America was threatened by the guy who's illegally running. Because SCOTUS overthrew the 14th Amendment, Section 3, not just Section 1. And not just Section 2 also, concerning the debt. But nonetheless, we're all doomed, we're all going to die. And so, since Trump won, he is purposely attacking Democrat states, Democrat cities. Name-calling, bullying, abusing them in advance, and then justifying that to send in the military, send in ICE, send in the police, lock them up, get them out, use Delta. the new Boeing. The new Spirit Airlines. Oh, dear God. And so they're purposely at war with Democrats. He's purposely at war with sanctuary states. Whether the sanctuary states and Democrats realize it or not. They keep saying, you're violating the Constitution. We are going to sue. We are going to get you in the midterms. Oh my God, we're so doomed. You're at war. Trump caused the Civil War on his inauguration speech. He listed all of y'all who are illegal. And Utah is still playing dumb. Along with other MAGA states who just aren't getting it. I'm just horrified. And so yes, Utah, ICE is doing a token amount because Cox got him exposed as Utah is a sanctuary state, not a MAGA state. So they're pretending to get a certain people. And as a result, Utah News is perpetuating the crybaby claim that ICE is arresting not illegal Utahns. They haven't committed any crime. Why is ICE getting them and arresting them? They haven't committed any crime. Well, nobody has. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. What the bleep? Nonetheless, this is MAGA thought. And this is how they've interpreted Trump. You're not listening. The church has made you stupid. You're not listening. Trump's hit list. Blacks, Islam, immigrants, children of immigrants, refugees. Children of refugees. Females in power who are colored. Refer back to blacks. Those who do not look like Ivanka. But don't worry, there's no list of Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't exist. Oh my God. Doesn't exist. And the deputy FBI director is stepping down for his principles that there was a list. You, Pam, put in to do Trump a favor, though, for what he did for you. You're not listening. Stop. This is gonna kill me with laughter. Oh, dear God. LGBTQ. Democrats. The liberal press. The poor. Mom and pop stores. Rhinos. Those who don't bribe Trump. Listen to him. You're not listening. You're pulling a Mormon on Trump. We only hear what we want to hear. Everybody must go. Dear God. And America is not doing it. And so Trump is escalating things little by little, but with SCOTUS allowing him to deport citizens now, he then tried it and a judge immediately shut him down. But again, SCOTUS approved him to do it. It's gonna be done. He's already doing it anyway. He doesn't care to follow the judge's orders. He's still doing it. Dear God. And so Alligator Alcatraz. Yes, it's not a shock that there's torture going on. We all knew there were torture. It's not a detention center. It's a concentration camp from Nazi Germany. Remember Stephen Miller? The devil on both shoulders of Trump. I warned you in advance. All of you all. And you didn't listen. You didn't believe. And here it is, and now you're shocked? We didn't think Trump meant it. We thought he was just kidding. We thought it was for the deep state. And the church is even horrified by Trump's behavior. When they put him in, right, Oaks? Is because Trump, on his first day, could have destroyed the whole world. Doing the tariffs, sending the military. If he had sent the military not just to the border, but to every single deep state, dem state also, just did a scorched earth America. And then tariffed everybody 100%. He would have instantly caused the fall of America. And so that Nelson can then say, Jesus is here. I told you so. And wouldn't have had to come out in April conference. It would have been canceled, as they planned. But nope. Instead, Nelson had to humiliate himself and put all of you itching ears speculating Mormons of faith promotion in your places by saying, no man knows the day or the hour, sillies. And so finally, LA is getting it and are defending themselves. And of course, as I told you, Trump's behavior is, he's now saying, oh, they're attacking us. We're just following the law. This is unprovoked. How dare they? Criminals! See, I told you they were criminals. Terrorists, rapists. I told you. Psychology 101. Get others to self-fulfill your self-fulfilling prophecies for them. It's bullying 101. Oh, God. Dana Stevens, Mormon. So yes, pay attention. Trump is going to escalate over the coming days. But it looks like LA has chosen to be the taking a stand. So LA is divorcing Trump by wanting to kick out ICE, kicking out the federal government of Trump, to run LA independent of federal interference, and thus be a nation unto themselves, and thus forcing Newsom to go along with it, to support them, to turn all of California into a separate nation state. See how they're revising 3rd Nephi 7 because of the test run? Just unbleeping believable. Nobody else sees this. It was right there in the Book of Mormon, warning us. So yes, other Democrat states and cities will follow. Once LA is the first one to stand up and kick out Trump or get nuked by Trump. So, State Department, back to firing people. SCOTUS gave them the green light. And so, yes, 1,500 from the State Department. And we had a PDF to show you why it's the State Department. It's very obvious, everybody should have seen it. And yet, deep state Dems are shocked. Oh my God, look at these crying women and employees leaving for the final time with their bags and boxes. Let me read over the list, see if you can figure out why Trump would be cutting them. Remember the hit list I gave you? See if you can figure it out. This might be complicated. Oh, Travis, testing makes us very nervous. And we need an emotional support animal to take tests. Can't we just get a pass and fail grade for participating? Chief of Staff, United States Mission to the United Nations, United States Agency for International Development, Bureau of Intelligence and Research, Bureau of Legislative Affairs, Bureau of Global Health, Security and Diplomacy, Office of Global Women's Issues, Office of the Legal Advisor, Policy Planning Staff, Counselor, Executive Secretariat. Isn't that a horse? Office of Civil Rights, Office of the Ombuds, Office of the Chief of Protocol, Special Envoys and Special Representatives, the Bureau of Cyberspace and Digital Policy, Office of the Ambassador at Large for Arctic Affairs. Yeah, those penguins in the Antarctic or Arctic. Office of U.S. Foreign Assistance, Office of Small and Disadvantaged Business Utilization, Bureau of African Affairs, Bureau of Counterterrorism and Countering Violent Extremism. Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs. Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs. Church calls Russia China. They don't put them with Europe anymore. Bureau of International Organization Affairs. Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs. Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs. Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs. Bureau of Administration. Bureau of Budgeting and Planning. Bureau of Consular Affairs. Office of Children's Issues. Bureau of Diplomatic Security. U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. Office of Foreign Missions. Bureau of Global Talent Management. United States Foreign Service. Bureau of Diplomatic Technology. Bureau of Medical Services. Bureau of Overseas Buildings Operations. Director of Diplomatic Reception Rooms. Foreign Service Institute. Office of Management, Strategy and Solutions. Bureau of Economic and Business Affairs. Bureau of Energy Resources. Bureau of Oceans and International Environmental and Scientific Affairs. Office of Global Food Security. And yet, Office of Global Partnerships, Office of Science and Technology Advisor, Office of the Chief Economist, Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs, Internet Access and Training Program, Bureau of Public Affairs, Spokesman for the United States Department of State, Office of the Historian, United States Diplomacy Center, Bureau of International Information Programs, Office of Policy Planning and Resources for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs, Bureau of International Security and Non-Proliferation, Bureau of Political Military Affairs, Bureau of Arms Control, Verification and Compliance. Verification and compliance with arms control? Bureau of Conflict and Stabilization Operations. I'm willing to bet that's still in operation. Office of the Coordinator for Reconstruction and Stabilization. Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor. Bureau for International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. Blame Canada instead of Mexico for the fentanyl crisis. Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration. Office of Global Criminal Justice. Office of International Religious Freedom. Oh my hell. The church got in. That's how. Oh my. Office to Monitor and Combat Trafficking in Persons. You gotta look to the church. It's not religious freedom. Oh my God. So yes, you're going to see Mormons in Utah getting further fired. And then, you can't stay in Zion anymore. You're poor. Get the hell out. I warned you. You don't listen. You don't believe. So, what is also fascinating, the Texas AG, his wife divorced him on biblical grounds. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Virginia Woolf, Virginia Woolf. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? The Texas AG. Banned in Utah. Along with the Bible. It was a play from first staged in 1962. Only in audio, huh? Fascinating. Fascinating. So, yeah, there's a movie version of it. 1966, it was turned into the film. That's what we watched in school for literature class. Fascinating. Okay. Some culture for you guys. So yeah, in the 60s, had some awesome movies come out. Not just Time Machine and Fahrenheit 451, but now Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf came out. Among others, I think even, or was that the 70s? Manchurian Candidate, 1962 film. Yep. Frank Sinatra. Sure enough. And I'd be willing to bet Omega Man might have also been in the 60s. Omega Man. Oh, nope, 1971. Doesn't qualify. Doesn't qualify. Loser! Move along. So we're done. Oh, God. Now the fun part, making the video for you.